We are in H motherfucking D. How do we all like this, man?
All right,
We
step
got
it
the
up the
new
quality
colors.
every
We
time.
got the lights. I
Step up.
feel good about myself.
All right.
You know.
Moving
Uh,
on up in the world.
we try HD. All right, and today we are here to talk about Kingsman, the Golden Circle, not to be confused with Golden Shower.
Gross. Shout to Donald Trump.
There we go. There it is. It comes out.
Just like that.
Hey man,
And
you know it was coming.
and with us today we have Mr. Woods.
What up?
How you doing today?
Not bad.
All right, and
No complaints.
we have
Howdy ho, read the name.
you
Back
can
up
read,
in this
but
one more game.
in case you can't, that is LeVar.
LeVar, Levar.
And
Reading
just
is fundamental.
Just in case.
check out this new set. Check out these colors.
He
Check
feeling
out
himself.
the TV
The pat on the
and
back.
the logo and the theme song.
Oh man, it's
It's
professional.
all
Moving
it's
all
all
up in
nice.
the world.
And the glare.
And
Moving
don't-
on up.
Don't even worry about that.
My bad.
Yeah.
All right.
Why you gotta point out the
Don't worry about
flaws?
that. You just going straight to the glass half empty, huh?
I'm the pessimist.
Okay.
Hey man,
All right.
we moving on up. We working it on
I
out.
understand. So,
Kingsman too.
let's get back into this Kingsman thing.
Yes.
So, it was a movie. We
Yeah.
saw it. It was the sequel to the Matthew Vaughn's, an original.
It was a sequel to Kingsman. Okay.
Yeah, sequel to Kingsman. There you go.
Part 2.
And this is actually a part
That's
of
after 1.
the Millarverse, which Netflix just purchased. This is Mark Millar, who also brought us Kick-Ass
Okay.
and a few other good things. And Netflix owns all that now.
So does that mean that there's going to be crossover movies with Kick-Ass?
It could be. Because Netflix
What other
owns
properties-
it all outright.
What
It's
other
not like
properties
a-
is there?
It's not like a Marvel deal. So there's a ton of characters, but like the main two are
Kingsman and Kick-Ass?
Kingsman and Kick-Ass.
Are they doing any more Kick-Ass movies?
I hope so. Or what about a Kick-Ass TV show?
On Netflix, that'll work.
Yeah,
That could
because you know
definitely
why?
Definitely work. I'd watch it.
You know why? Marvel saw all of that shit coming, right? Like Marvel basically was like, Disney. Disney wants to pull out and start their own
Oh,
service.
their
They were
own
just ready
streaming
for it.
service because
Yeah.
Disney has so much content
Yeah.
with all the Marvel stuff
you
and the
mean
TV shows.
Netflix already saw that coming.
Yes.
Right. So they were
Yes.
already preparing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
You can't,
Marvel. I mean,
Disney-
Disney about to
Disney,
take off all
they-
that
they-
Marvel stuff, all that Star Wars stuff. All of that content going to be found on the Disney
yeah.
stuff. All them classic movies that you love so much, all them animated movies, the good Lion King and Aladdin and whatnot.
Right.
Disney with a capital D. I'll let
Taking all that shit.
I'll let you use your imagination. All right.
But back to Kingsman.
So back to Kingsman. Well, LeVar, why don't you tell us what you liked about the movie?
Oh, the movie was entertaining. It's a lot of stuff in it that didn't make sense, but you got to suspend disbelief when you're watching a movie. It was entertaining for the most part. I liked it. It was just certain things that it's just like, why are you doing this? Because it just doesn't make sense. It's just like to move the plot along or to stretch the time out. But I guess for plot points, because they're spoilers, just the way the fight scenes played out and whatever, it's a bunch of impossible stuff, but that's what Kingsman is.
You remember the first one, right?
Vaguely.
Like vaguely. Oh,
The
okay.
girl with the freaking who walked on had the metal legs and
Right.
shit.
Yeah.
The whole time I was expecting Samuel L. Jackson to show up.
Yeah, I was a little
I
disappointed
was
by that. I'm like,
disappointed.
hold on. So you
They only showed him in a flashback scene.
You're gonna bring back, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? You could bring back Colin Firth, and you can't bring back, my boy who was scared of blood in the first one, Sam Jackson.
Didn't he die?
Didn't Colin Firth die?
Exactly.
And somehow
Nanites.
they
came
got
back.
nanites. You know what I'm saying?
No,
So
he
you
ne-
could
he
you
never
could you
died.
could you could just bring him back.
Nanites.
Obviously, these bad people have technology. They have the technology. Dudes got robot arms, and you had people on metal legs and
Yeah,
shit like
like,
that. So y'all
come on.
have technology too.
I mean, maybe
That you bringing
but-
people back from headshots and whatnot.
Plastic
Yeah.
bags.
So except unless but I mean, Sam Jackson was like the villain.
How did he
so-
die in the first one?
I think his head exploded with everybody else, or maybe not.
No, he didn't. No.
How did I don't remember how he died. Somebody who
Nobody can fill you in.
help me out with this.
He's dead.
He's
Sam
dead.
Jackson died.
All right. Well, okay. I'm gonna ask
He had
you.
got. I believe he had got stabbed or shot. It was one of the two.
So he went
because his top henchman, he had Eggsy had used the blade to, I believe, stab Sam in the heart. And I think that was how he had went out. And then he had bashed through the glass and fell out the window or something like one of those things.
Right.
Oh, his head did explode because he was like, uh-oh.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah,
His head exploded. But
See how I fleshed that out? I had
know.
to think about it.
I know.
So,
So what you're saying is I was
Ain't
right.
no coming back from
initially.
that.
Yeah, well,
And ain't no coming back.
Ain't no coming back.
Those of you who get the Last Dragon reference, points to you.
Nanites.
Nanites. Okay.
It's all about the nanites.
Speaking about those nanites, what did you like about this movie? Other than nanites.
Gotta love the nanites. I like the set locations that they shot the film at.
Okay.
Yeah,
Big set pieces.
that's it. No, and I like the action sequences were dope. You know, I'm not gonna crap on the action sequences. Action sequences were dope. That's what this guy Vaughn was known for, right? In terms of the style of what was this, a graphic novel or a comic, I believe, or something like that.
It's a comic. It's a comic series.
Right. So, in terms of how they brought that once again, like in the Kingsman 1, which is
Once
why
again,
I think
it's on.
that's why people were so amped with the first one, or they enjoyed it because of the action, the stylized action. And so in this one, he didn't disappoint once again with that stylized action. So
Right.
I like
Oberyn Martell, whatever his name is in real life, the actor who played Agent Whiskey in the movie.
Was that whiskey or was that tequila?
That's whiskey.
That was
Tequila
whiskey?
is Magic Mike,
Right. Okay. So
And champagne is Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges.
call him champ.
Champ.
Call him champ.
Anybody who knows what's good for them calls him champ. So you obviously don't know what's good for you.
No,
Clear-
you get
clearly
punched
I
in the
Clearly you
face.
don't. You get punched right in the face. You don't call him champagne. Champ.
Oh,
Champ.
champ. So that for me, that's the set pieces.
Champ
and,
is here.
Nobody. The
Yes,
action.
nobody.
No,
Nobody.
Jadakiss
Okay.
and stuff.
Okay.
I was doing that
So
before the show.
and there was a couple of
My
jokes
customer
here and
was-
there, but that's what I liked about the film.
But Oberyn was way nicer with a lasso than Wonder Woman ever was in the movie. Like the shit that he was doing with that rope, man.
Shots fired.
That's
Skipping rope, as you
Shots.
know.
That's a little crazy.
Skipping rope.
Shots fired. Coming at
That's a little- His name is Pedro Pascal. Thanks
Pascal,
to
yeah.
IMDb.
With the
shots fired
with the
though about
laser lasso.
with the lasso though.
Yeah.
Oh, he was fucking shit up with that.
Hey, look, man. It's the Viper.
Yeah,
Think
man.
about it.
So you're saying that he had more experience
I'm just saying.
compared to Wonder Woman? Are you agreeing
No.
with this?
What I'm saying is his work.
Are you in agreement that he was more?
First of all, Wonder Woman was new with the lasso when we saw her.
That's
in
what
her
I was
Wonder
gonna
Woman
say, but it
movie.
just sounded like you was jumping on that.
And what I'm saying is, did Wonder
that
Woman
agreement.
use her lasso ever to turn on electricity and then cut somebody in half with it?
No, but she
Nope,
made him
but-
tell the truth.
But did she cut him in half after they told the truth?
Might have stabbed him.
She loses. Okay.
Yeah, but isn't Kingsman rated R?
So
See, there you go.
there. But hold on.
Well, you can't throw out the reason that he's better
She can
than
still
Wonder
cut people,
Woman,
yeah.
and then defend her like, well,
Yeah, don't give her a
It's
hand.
rated
up.
R.
She can hold her own.
She could still do the same things because if you remember Star Wars, people was getting cut in half, and that's PG-13, so or PG or whatever it is.
so what you're saying is Wonder Woman
Like
is
Darth
soft.
Maul, yeah. It's
All
kiddie
right,
shit.
you going- all right, so-
Don't walk down that road.
So what you're saying is that Wonder Woman is soft. Is that what you're saying, LeVar?
I smell the bait.
It's kiddie shit.
I smell the bait. Here's the thing. Wonder Woman wins anyway.
She's a god.
Well, I mean, and she made all the money. I mean, all the money.
But let's not get sidetracked.
Exactly. Thank
so,
you.
Not without getting sidetracked, what did I like about the movie? So I went into this movie. I know a lot of people love the first Kingsman, and I thought it was good. Right?
I did not, but
people
It was all right.
love that movie. So I
It's
thought,
like James Bond, but more hip.
you know, I didn't hate it, but I find myself like, you know, falling in love with a lot of these Matthew Vaughn movies. Like he did X-Men First Class. You know what I mean? He showed us Kevin Bacon killing somebody by making him eat energy.
First Class was the very first one, right?
With the
like
new,
the reboot. They made
Kevin Bacon, man.
Darwin ate energy in that one, right?
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
So
I don't know.
So
I don't know.
Matthew Vaughn, right? And then, but
Okay,
he
now it
also
makes sense.
Matthew Vaughn also did Kick-Ass.
He made Darwin eat energy.
But have you ever seen anyone die better than eating energy?
I remember in Fantastic Four eons ago.
Okay, yes,
when
the one with
general,
Silver Surfer, right?
Yes, the general got blasted and his body was just ash.
That was good. I got another one for you. Sam Jackson in Deep Blue Sea.
He got ate by them goddamn sharks.
By the goddamn
A fucking shark
Yeah.
ate me.
Yeah.
So okay.
No, we could do this all day, but that's a whole nother.
Okay.
We'll save that one.
Okay.
We'll save
Then
that
there's
one.
also Sam Jackson in Star Wars.
We'll-
Quiet as kept. Some people don't think he's dead, but you know.
Let's
You
save
mean
that.
when
Let's
he got
save
both
that.
his
Come on,
hands
come
cut
on.
off
Let's save
and
that.
fell down the shit?
All right.
He's not dead?
When he got blasted out of there. No, let's save
Talking-
that.
you
I
get
like that.
sidetracked too much.
Okay, sidetrack. All right.
But
So
what I really liked about the movie was the use of music, like the way the songs went with the scenery, like how they played "Let's Go Crazy" by Prince when they were in the car fight.
no, it was right.
Okay.
It was
Oh
right.
man, it was just so epic, you know,
Okay.
and then how the song ends, you know, it was great.
Okay, so I'm gonna say
Or how they
hands
played
down.
that country version of what's the word? Word Up.
Yeah, word up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna say hands down, like I didn't know how I felt about the movie because they were like logically it didn't make sense, and like once you throw that out,
You
then,
gotta throw logic out the window.
then you can like it. But the thing that saved this movie for me was Elton John and that.
Oh
kick.
man,
That Elton
He
John
stole
kick.
Oh, when he looked at the camera.
Like at first, I was talking to Yabi. I was like, "This is the dumbest shit ever." I was like, "Yo, Elton John is terrible."
Yeah, he was getting pissed.
But I was just like, "Oh my god, he's like the worst actor ever." But just when that fight scene came on, when he was wearing the fucking shit with the heels,
He had the
and
high
then he
heels,
did the
yeah.
high kick. I was just like, "Oh my god, this is comedy. This is gold."
But also when he said "get the fuck out,"
Yeah.
like when he started
When he
cursing him to
dropping
get out of
F-bombs?
his room.
oh, when
that
he
was
was
it. Like,
locked
that
up,
was
right?
good
then.
When he was
I was good.
captured.
Like when they
Yeah.
showed him there and the robot dogs, it's like he wasn't selling it for me that he saw it, because it's just like obviously only us can see it, and them acting it out, it's just a green screen there and they don't see anything. But he wasn't making me believe that he saw something that wasn't there.
Right.
You understand? He wasn't selling it, but later on in the movie, he got his legs.
I concur.
He definitely made that shit, you know, what it was.
Right.
So to me, what I liked about it was Elton John, and every time I was checked out of the movie because a dumb thing they did in the script,
Okay.
or just like stupid jokes, or,
Right.
or physics, just throwing those out the window, like it just brought me back in with like a funny joke, like a laugh out loud joke, or a kick-ass, pun intended, action sequence.
Okay.
So for me, like every time I was falling out, I felt like Michael Corleone. It's like I tried to get out of the movie, but he just kept
bringing me
pulling
back.
me back in.
Oh, okay. I see
All
what you
right.
did there.
That was a good one.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Okay.
appreciate. I
All right.
appreciate
All right.
myself.
All right.
I'm just okay.
Pat on the back. All right.
Stop sucking your own jock.
Too late. What didn't you like about the movie?
I mean, there was just some ridiculous stuff going on, but you have to suspend disbelief to watch this movie. It's a lot of impossible shit. It's like a live action cartoon, but from you look at it like, okay, this world ain't real, and you like physics and things do not exist in this movie. It's like James Bond on like steroids.
Right.
So you just got to watch it with that. But it's enjoyable. If you just throw logic out the window, it's a great movie.
Yeah, and I kept finding myself having to remind myself that this is a comic book movie.
Yeah.
And it's hard to say that because you watch things like Logan and Civil War and some of these other movies, and you're like,
serious,
well,
like
right.
This is
But
more like splash pages.
it's fun, right? And
when you open up to see the
thing about it.
cover of a comic book, or you read a couple panels of dialogue, and then there's the big page where they're jumping, or it's just some action. This movie's a bunch of splash pages.
Right. So when I reminded myself of that, I did have those problems with you.
I like that.
Mr. Woods.
Yeah.
What did you not like about this thing?
Everything.
Okay. Fucking thing sucks.
Yeah, I mean,
You thought it sucked?
yeah,
You weren't entertained at all? Not even a little bit?
No, I didn't. No,
You didn't laugh
a
at
little
Elton
bit.
John shit? I saw you laughing, bro. That shit was funny. When he did the fly kick to that nigga chest,
No,
and the fucking heel boots, nigga, all
Or
the way.
when
he
he did the callback to the first movie was like you could get a backstage pass.
No.
Oh,
when they
yeah,
were
when that gay shit, the gay scene, when he
No.
he
There
looked
was
at him and blew the kiss.
the scene that had me laughing was when they were in the bar, and they were all sitting down, like kind of getting acclimated with each other, and what was his name? Henry was like kind of getting his wits back.
You thought he was going to fuck shit up, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
he was like,
His ass whooped.
and he just like
Because his depth of perception is off because he only got one eye.
Thug one or however he's
Yeah.
labeled, and then he
Yeah.
just gets up and interrupts them and screams on them, calls them an expletive. that had me laughing, absolutely. But
What did he say again? He was there like, he said something about, like, you look like you fucked in his eye socket, or like you one eye.
yeah, something like that. Yeah, he came at him. He came at him about his appearance and all this and that. And told him
But
to
he
get out of
went
there.
and locked the door and everything.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
He like,
Oh
he's
man,
gonna
I was
do
just
it
there.
again.
Like, I've seen that in so many movies. There's like, like in A Bronx Tale, he's like, we told you to leave. No, you just can't leave.
Right.
Lock the door, whoop that fucking ass.
Right. Beat the crap out of him.
Or in Black Dynamite, when he locked the door and whooped their ass. So it's just like, okay, cliche. So you don't expect him to get his ass whooped. He got his ass handed to him.
Right.
Yeah, and that's
And then Oberyn Martell with the lasso shitting on Wonder Woman.
oh,
there you
man.
go.
Snipe.
No, but I mean, aside from that though, which as we all in agreement that was dope. Outside of that, I wasn't a fan of the film, and so to me, I can understand why people enjoyed it, because that's a great thing that you said, LeVar. Like, it's a bunch of splash pages.
Yeah,
that's a cool way to kind of coin it. But overall, for me, I didn't like obviously dialogue is not their strong suit. It shows that their vision is in action. And then the pacing was very odd because they tried to cram a lot into the film. So it was
and it was a 2 hour and some shit.
And
runtime.
that felt like a 2 hour and some shit runtime. 2 hours and 41 minutes.
Oh my, no. 2 hours and 21 minutes.
It was that
21?
long?
I thought it was
21, yeah.
41. Oh, okay.
Maybe it felt like 41 because they did so much.
No.
But 2 hours and 21 for an action movie that's like not really drama
But the
is
thing
insane.
I was just there. Remember when we were watching it, and I was just like, why would they break the damn antidote just to drag out the movie fucking longer?
Right. Well,
You know
because it's, and even like that, you felt like, okay, they got the antidote, here we go, and then it was so obvious because you was saying that, you was like, yo, watch something happens, like he's just holding it real crazy. You was saying something like that to me, like, he was like, why did he take it out to hold it?
Why the fuck would you take it out of a protective case to look at it like, yes, we succeeded, so
exactly.
this nigga could break it?
It was mad cliche.
It was just like, come on, son.
Yeah, I mean,
that was like lazy writing.
It was like Jon Snow's plot armor.
Yeah, I was just like, that shit is stupid.
Sorry.
That shit was stupid to me.
No, but so
don't you dare come at Game of Thrones.
I'm sorry.
Don't you
apologize.
dare.
Oh, see, now he
It's
feels
bad
some
enough
kind
we
of
gotta
way.
wait 2 years for that shit to come back. But let's not get
I'm
sidetracked.
saying I saw
Now he feels some kind of way.
Oberyn, or Pedro Pascal. I'm knowing names.
He's Oberyn. That's it.
No, but
he's Oberyn.
I don't, and then there was like the pacing. Next thing you know, his relationship was going to take into the next level.
It's like how it's
his
still
best
called
friend
Drago.
died. His dog died.
Yeah.
It was just there was
His
too
dog
much
died.
happening.
That shit was so John Wick.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I wasn't a fan. I wasn't a fan of the first one, and I definitely wasn't a fan of this one. But the action was good. That's what I said. The action.
It's a
set
popcorn
locations.
movie. Like I said,
I wonder what your
splash
gonna be,
pages.
but we'll get to that later.
Splash pages.
Okay, so
Let me talk about this, about the propaganda
Oh no,
on the false
we're
war
gonna
on
get to
drugs.
that. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to
We
that
need to
when we
get to
do
that.
the final thoughts.
Because
Yeah. We're gonna do that next. But so what I did not like about the film, they should not have brought back Colin Firth, Henry Galahad Sr.
Nanites.
especially if you ain't gonna bring back Sam Jackson.
I mean, there's a part 3 for that. But to
Nanites.
me, I would have been totally fine if Mark Strong or Merlin in the film, Mark
Right.
Strong took that place. He was well suited to do it, and it just like I can't take anything seriously in the movie, and you should know that when you just watch all the jokes.
Right.
But like the deaths mean nothing. And again, spoilers, this is a spoiler review. Mark Strong dies, and
That upset me too. I didn't like that he died.
It would have upset me if I didn't think they're gonna bring him back in the next movie, because
I thought he wasn't going to die, actually.
to me, the thing that made the first one like tolerable for me with all of the over the top stuff, it was like they really went there and they killed
the dude
Colin
who taught him.
Firth. They killed Galahad, and I was like, oh shit,
I was like, how the fuck they
they're
killed?
not playing.
And like you took his place.
Oh, okay.
And so when you bring him back, I have to reevaluate whether I even like the first movie now, because
But still, they
that
have
was the thing
technology
that
to bring him
saved it
back.
for
Like
me.
he should have been dead. It's just, but they have that, that gel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Which
nanites.
is possible because nanites and all these things exist nowadays, and like there's things that
You're
they can do
not
to stop
bringing
cell
somebody back.
degeneration.
You're not bringing somebody back from shooting them in the eye, through the head.
How do you know that?
Nanites.
Nanites, bro.
That,
Like they have chips that they put in you right now that which
They don't fix gunshot wounds to the head.
Holly Berry explained it to you. We put a bag over his head, filled him with nanites, and then he was back to normal.
Speaking
They
of,
have things similar though, like when they're doing surgery, like that with a camera and like this expandable thing that it grows inside you. And
did
it could,
you see the size of the
things.
hole in that man's head?
Yeah. Hey man,
Wait, forget all that. What about the fact that
realize
they're
that
watching
everything that was science fiction before, a lot of times it becomes reality.
I understand.
Yeah. What about the fact that they were watching him, right? They were watching Galahad, right?
Yeah.
And then they were like, "Yo, that's our friend." And then they filled the thing up with water to get his brain back to normal. And then it didn't work. And it was like, "All right, well let's
he's
just
done
send
now.
let's just send him home. He's done."
Send him to go play with the
Like,
butterflies.
that
You're
was
done.
That was it. That was your first and only experiment to kind of trigger his memory. And then since you didn't get it, like,
Hey,
that's
man.
it.
Hey, the puppy worked.
That's the lesson in life.
Right.
You shoot a
you
puppy
shoot
in the
a fucking
face,
dog,
and you'll fix people's
fix it.
mental issues.
That was
okay.
the message.
So
Nah, because it's just like the dog. He really loved the dog. So
and
that's what brought him back. It's just like how when Oberyn got shot in the head, he loved his wife, so that's what brought him back to make him remember.
Right.
you got to find that thing, and you got to know the person, and only Eggsy knew him like Eggsy knew him like everybody,
to do it.
more than everybody.
Okay.
else. Okay.
If you want to defend it.
So
We got it. We're talking. You got to suspend
All right.
disbelief, man.
Right.
You got to fill in the potholes.
all right, now we're gonna get to these final thoughts, and you can talk about what
Yeah, let's talk about the bullshit war on drugs. What the director or the filmmaker was
Matthew
trying
Vaughn,
to say, Matthew
or
Vaughn,
writer.
about the bullshit war on drugs in America and how it mirrored actual politics.
It was written by Jane Goldman. That's top billed and 3 other people. But
spoiler, in the movie, the bad guy who was what's her name again?
Julianne Moore. But what was her name
Julianne.
in the movie?
Her name in the movie was
Poppy, right?
Poppy.
Poppy. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. As in poppy seed.
Yes, I got that. But her.
I just thought about that right now. And
Wow, you're slow. I got that shit right away.
I am feeling fantastic about myself.
Wow, you should feel
coming
slow
up with that.
because instantly when I saw Poppy, I thought Poppy feels poppy seeds, drugs, heroin.
I'm.
But maybe because I do drugs,
I'm sorry.
and you're kind of a square,
Yeah,
but instantaneously.
Oh.
And we saw this
gotta
movie,
get-
mind
gotta
you,
get
we saw
another
this
pat on
movie
the back
like
for that
9 hours ago, and instantaneously, but
Oh man, it's
you know,
shots fired.
drug addict.
Right now, so war on drugs.
Yes, the propaganda, and it spoke on the bullshit war on drugs in America. Well, basically, it's just like Poppy. She owned Like, she ran the drug trade. She made billions of dollars already, right? Everybody in America does drugs. People been doing drugs. People been getting high, right? And it's big business. But in America, they'll allow you to get high, but only on their drugs that they deem legal. Like, alcohol is a drug. Xanax or, Percocet, whatever it is, these prescriptions, they're drugs.
Right.
But they're, regulated by the FDA. And most of these things will kill you, but they're regulated and they're making the money off of it. So they demonize all this other stuff. But America is a drug culture. Everybody gets high.
Right.
But in this movie, she runs the drug trade and then poisons all of her drugs. And then she's trying to extort the government for $1 billion. Now, that's Dr. Evil. That's not what she's trying to do. But she wants drugs made legal.
Right,
but all
she wanted
drugs
a
should be
legalized
made
drug.
legal. If you in reality, all drugs should be made legal because everybody's gonna get high any damn way. For you to be locking people
Heroin?
Heroin, if it's a drug that can kill you, it shouldn't be legal.
Kids
So
used to
then-
be able to buy heroin
But
like
still,
in the 20s. You know that,
If
right?
you take too much
Yeah, they
Percocet,
did. And cocaine was like a thing that they gave people.
yeah, they
But-
used to
but
prescribe
again-
cocaine.
Again,
Everything you can do anything in moderation.
I don't think.
But
you
I
can
don't
do,
think
I don't
certain-
think you can do heroin.
I-
And let's. I see what you're saying, but I think we should qualify because I think what you're really talking about is marijuana.
The war on drugs is bullshit.
Yes, and
The
how you attack it.
demonization, certain drugs should be regulated. If it's going to kill people and people are ODing on it, like marijuana shouldn't be illegal. I mean, this is just coming from a pot smoker, but marijuana should not be illegal. But she basically drugged, or she poisoned all of her drugs. And she told the president, legalize drugs and I'll give you the antidote.
Right.
But he said, I'm just going to tell the people that I'm going along with it. But fuck them.
Right.
Let them all die.
Get
They're
all these
scum.
druggies out of here.
They're scum. I'm going to win the war on drugs. They're all scum. Let them all die. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be the first person to win this shit. He's just like, if they did that shit, but then it comes to find out that elected officials and other people in government, people who are
Close relatives and
close
all that,
relatives
yeah.
who are deemed upstanding citizens, everybody does something to take the edge off. So now you demonize them. They're scum. They put everybody in concentration camps to just die or whatever. Not that that's the reality of whatever, but it's just the demonization of drugs. But still, in the end, they said, oh, just drink liquor, and don't do the other shit.
All right,
so that's
let me-
just more reaffirming this bullshit on drugs. Like,
I
the legal
actually-
drugs are okay,
I have
but none of all this other shit is
I
bad.
actually think that they were looking at something different, but I'm going to tell you that in 1 second.
Do you
But
feel
you go
like?
ahead.
Do you feel like it was? So you felt like there was a message being sent there, like from the director and everything about like this kind of underlying message about drugs, or do you
The
think it was
message
just a popcorn
is like the
movie and
war
whatever?
on drugs is bullshit. That was
Okay.
the message.
I think that was one of the messages, but I think there was something else they were saying there.
Go ahead.
But what
'Cause you gotta wrap this
final
up.
thoughts?
I felt like, so again, kind of going back to why I don't really like the film, because even though like I like Bond films, right? So I know this is the 2017 version, like the
Nah, this is not the 2017 version of Bond. This is
This is
what
just-
it is. The
it's-
source material is a comic book, right? It's
Okay. So, well, because I started to say that even with Bond, even though how Bond operates, and that's a little dated in terms of how he goes about his business and misogyny and blah, 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 add any word, feminism and all this other stuff. But for me, this is kind of like the Call of Duty Mountain Dew
right.
like generation.
Oh,
Like this is
jacked
their
up on
shit.
Mountain Dew.
Jacked up on Mountain Dew, and then playing Call of Duty, and then treating everything like a video game. Yeah, you call me old man, but
shaking his fingers at the wind. The boys on my lawn.
I'm
that
just
don't
saying, man.
respect the
This is
past.
this is the little Uzi Vert.
Sons of bitches.
This is the little Uzi Vert of action spy films or something. Nah, man. Like
What's just
honestly,
hilarious to me right now is that you're doing LeVar.
You could no, but
Same shit that you be so tight that I'll be doing.
I'm saying, man, like I can't.
Hey, man.
For me, it's like I said, it's just it
It's
was like
hilarious, though.
they were going
You're
like,
funny, but
hey,
it's
this is
hilarious.
featuring
The irony.
this is featuring
No
Jeff
politics.
Bridges, and this is featuring Channing Tatum for no apparent reason other than to put him in ice and make
No,
him
to
do a
get the
dance.
women, man.
He
And
To
then-
get the women. Women
Here-
love Magic Mike. You got to get the women dollars.
Here's Holly Berry doing
Like-
nothing, serving no purpose.
Yeah,
no,
Channing
but
Tatum
I
actually
think-
did nothing. No, I'm sorry. Halle Berry was just a token Negro. They needed black people in the film. You got to give somebody black
There
a
it
speaking
goes.
role. So
Here's the thing.
token.
Listen, man,
But in part 3, Halle Berry's gonna have like some,
I don't care.
actual time in the
The
movie.
the film there was no point in anything that was going on. in
I
the
didn't
film.
like how Merlin, his first time in the field, because how him and Holly was having that conversation about how don't you just want to go out into the field and be tested, just stop staying back in the rafters. Don't you want to go out there? And then as soon as he goes out there, he dies.
And you can say that I'm old and I'm pumping my fist at the lawn, but the film felt long.
Because it was 2.5 hours.
The film felt scattered
The
brain.
film didn't feel long. It was long.
The film felt scattered brain, did it not? But somehow you got pulled in from certain set pieces or something, or there was a joke here or a
Splash
shot
pages,
there.
man.
Splash
Jokes.
pages. Other than
Jokes
that,
and
you were
jokes
saying,
and
"What the
jokes
hell
and
am I
jokes."
watching?"
I mean,
A lot of times I leaned over to you and I was like, "What is this fucking bullshit?"
The film could have ended like 4 times, and you would have been cool with it. At any point, anything random, Eggsy could have dropped into the fucking sewer, and you would have been like, "All right, cool."
Okay,
End of the film.
let me say this, not to cut anybody off. The dumbest shit to me in it was that concentration camp when they put everybody in the football fields and stadiums and stacked all the cages on top of each other. Where were they shitting? So they were just shitting and pissing on. There was no toilets in this shit.
why?
No,
are you
don't bring no
looking for this
logic.
movie to make
You're
sense?
bringing
Can't do
So
that.
there was like,
You
where
can't
was
do
the
that.
toilets?
you're bringing toilet logic
what-
into
Can't try to
this.
make it make
How
sense.
long were they in there? How long does the third stage last before you die?
They didn't tell you
They
that.
didn't tell you
said
any of that shit.
It lasted a few weeks, and they were using drones, and they had to don't. It's fine. It's a comic book. You
It still
gotta
gotta make sense,
understand
bro.
it was a
It
comic
gotta make
book.
sense.
And so,
I mean, for a popcorn movie, if you suspend all disbelief and just look at it like it's a cartoon, fuck it.
okay, so I'm gonna say
But
this.
if in logical terms, that shit didn't make no sense at all.
I'm gonna say this.
Like there's blood coming out their nose and their eyes and their mouth. They're vomiting
blood coming out of there wherever.
wherever.
That's
yeah.
for you.
Blood coming out of all orifices. They just stacked them on like fucking
You see what I did
Legos
there.
in a fucking football field, like which made no fucking sense.
When
So
did they
where are
round them up
shitting?
and just put them in the
Where
football
are
in
they
the
pissing?
stadium?
Whatever. So they just stuck standing up with no IVs in them. They just stand there and that's it.
Not supposed to make sense.
All right,
It's a
whatever.
comic book. Come
They
to life.
definitely all
But
got
Elton John
rounded
was
up.
funny though.
But you know what though? That was a splash page for you.
Yeah.
That was a splash page.
It was very like because if I saw that in a comic book, then I'm just like, okay, it's a comic book.
Right.
But when I see real people, I'm like, that shit don't make no fucking sense. There was mad times during the movie I leaned over to you. I was like, what the fuck is this shit? You know what I'm saying?
I just
That's not
wanted-
to say that I didn't laugh out loud a bunch of times, or like the action wasn't cool and the music was great, and how the action went along with the music, and how they, the cinematography and how that was great for a popcorn movie. It's good. But you have to suspend disbelief.
This is bullshit.
Yeah, it's impossible shit.
So
There was some cool looking shit, but it's impossible.
I'm gonna say this.
Not a fan.
I do not think that this was very far off than a Fast and the Furious film.
Oh yeah,
So,
Not a
all
fan
the
of
films,
those
so
or
either.
like
if I can
those are
go-
stupid. All of them.
I didn't expect this to be a Martin Scorsese Oscar-worthy piece. I knew because the first one was over the top. My problem with this one was like logically it was dumb. Like within their own world that they established.
Nanites.
To me, it's like you broke your own rule, and the thing that made the first movie good is the thing that you kind of you just erase that. So I look at the whole thing and I have to look at it all in retrospect. But I was saying the thing about the war on drugs, the different way that I saw it was that they were actually making an analogy to the pharmaceutical industry. as opposed to they were using the war on drugs and saying these drugs, but what happens with the pharmaceutical?
But that's what I was saying. It's just like the drugs that are legal, they're fine, but
And they're
because
saying,
they're making money off of that shit,
and we'll give you a cure, and that's what happens in the pharmaceutical industry, and we're all kind of stuck on it. And
it's just like it'll cure your depression, but it'll make your asshole bleed,
or
death,
yeah,
or paralysis.
Fentanyl.
That's the analogy I saw. And yes, there was the war on drugs, and they put them in that big stadium because this is the analogy to the war on drugs. Like, we're really just gonna lock you up. We don't really care about fixing you, right? So the prison system is not designed to rehabilitate, even though that's what it says. It's there.
In other countries, it is though, but not here.
Stack you on top of each other and treat you like cattle,
yeah.
And that's why that you had that imagery there. So I understood that, and the message sort of was undercut by the bad logic. But again, I think overall, I knew what I was getting into. I'm mad at the logic, but like I said, they brought me back in. And with that, we are going to go to the final score, and we're going to wrap this thing up because somebody has to go, and I'm not going to say who. It's definitely not that guy.
Yeah, this guy has a fucking life. But anyway, overall, I thought the movie was entertaining if you suspend disbelief. The best parts of the movie, like I said, was the music, how it was a splash page. I like the action sequences. Oberyn Martell was good, but there was
Pedro Pascal, Agent
there
Whiskey.
was too much, plot
Wait,
holes.
Didn't he get shot in the face?
He got
something
shot
like that.
But it's the same thing with the nanites and blah blah blah.
Nanites, man. That was your thing.
As long as you put the gel on them, the healing gel, and then you know what I'm saying, the nanites go in there, pull the shit out, everything's
Did
fixed.
anyone notice they made the callback to Game of Thrones when they had Eggsy when after he pulled off the guy's arm, he was just talking a bunch of shit like surrender. This is for everybody. This is for all the people you killed.
Right.
Like right before the mountain killed him.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones spoilers, but whatever. Okay, score.
Out of 10?
Out of 10. That's what we do.
Out of 10, how good was it?
Out of 10.
I will say I was entertained. If I throw logic out the window, which I'm doing, I'm just throwing logic out the window. If you want it to be logical
Unless they
or whatever,
have to take a shit.
if you want it to be logical, then
have you
whatever,
seen Human Centipede?
But
Yes, I have.
if you throw logic out the window and look at it like it was a cartoon movie, but a live action cartoon movie, it was very entertaining.
You are the professor. You got to give this thing a grade.
A grade?
1 to 10.
Was I entertained by it? I was entertained.
But what's your score, Mister? I got to get out of here.
I would say out of 10, I would give it a 6.
Out of 6 out of 10.
6.5.
6.5. 65. Just passing.
All right.
You was entertained. You threw logic out the window.
70.
7. You give it a 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10.
Okay, there you go. That's the score. Let's go. No backseas. What are you giving this thing?
I gave it a 6.
You gave it a 6.
I was gonna go with a 5, but
yikes!
go
But
with
then
a
you
6.
remembered Elton John.
I've seen much worse movies.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Okay.
But yeah, no, it's a 6.
If I'm grading it on a curve.
Okay.
I won't say it was terrible. I was entertained. I wasn't mad at it.
Mountain Dew and Call of Duty, man. That's what that movie is.
I am, and I love movies, right? You know what I mean?
Let's hear your 9.5.
No. I'm gonna give this thing a 7.8.
Yeah.
You know you really want to give it an 8, don't you?
I actually want to give it a 7.5, but I feel like he gave it a 7, so I'm good. No, but honestly, I think it's like a 7.5, 7.8, and that's because again they kept dragging me back, right? Like there was so much
pulling me back in,
fun things in there, and when I started to when you remind yourself
that's exactly
that
what
this
it
is
was.
not James Bond,
yeah.
and
you gotta suspend disbelief, like I said.
It is a comic book that is wild like this. That it's like a fun time. You know what I mean? It's
like
it's
I
one of
said.
those
You
things.
gotta look at it like it's a cartoon.
You
but
had
just with
fun
real
with
people.
this movie?
I laughed out loud.
Like I
several
said,
times, and I saw
a live action
bunch of
cartoon.
action scenes that
splash
to me,
pages.
That they was like, I was like, oh, that's cool, especially when like
Oberyn with the lasso,
Galahad Jr. and Senior were just fighting in the bar. I mean, you knew he was going in the grinder, but like the way they were moving the camera around, and I know that was CG, but the way they did that to me, I thought it was great. So 7.8.
That's why I got a 6 for me.
And look, hey, I don't blame you.
It's passing, bro.
But-
it's passing. If you spend your money to see it, you won't be mad.
Yes, you will.
But if you gave it a 6
Don't lie to the people.
out of 10, that's better than whack. It's not whack.
It's not even whack.
It's not even whack,
In
yo.
the words of Dame Dash,
It's not even whack.
It's not even whack.
It's okay. I can't even give it an eye.
It ain't no rock box.
But it didn't pass for you.
It
It
ain't
ain't
no rock
it ain't
box.
no rock box.
It ain't no
right.
rock
It
box.
ain't no rock box.
All right. So, thank you so much for listening this long. If you listen to this long, and I want you to like the show, share it with your friends, tell your moms, tell your pops,
Tell your girl, but she probably already know.
There you go. There he does it. There, what happens
Girl
in Glassbury stays in Glassbury.
Giggity.
Facts.
But you can find me on whatever your favorite social network is, as long as it's not Snapchat, at Steve A.M. Johnson. Mr. LeVar, where can they find
And you can find me in the club, bottle full of bub. Yeah, but you can find me on the Instagrams at the period dude period abides with a Z.
And we're in HD now, so they might be
Yeah,
able to
buddy.
see it. What is Marty McFly? That's at Twitter?
That's my Twitter, but I don't
He
even
doesn't
tweet.
even know
yo.
where his Twitter
Just
is.
check me out on the Facebook at LeVar Johnson.
Get him
and
on
check
Twitter
me
too,
out
and get him
on
some
the
followers.
Instagrams.
All
The
right.
dude abides.
Mr. Woods, where can they find you?
Why Woods? Why not?
Hey, hey,
what?
hey.
Instagram, Twitter,
All of that shit,
and
bro.
then
And
on the
We're
website.
trying to come up.
Why Woods? Why
Is,
not?
is that website fuckoutmyface.com?
No.
That's
No,
where it
no,
all
it's
started.
not that. That's not what that
No,
is. I'm
that's
sorry.
not.
But-
Sorry. That's actually an
another
old
one.
website of mine.
That's how this all
Um,
started.
That's another one.
So, again, thank you for coming. We will be back to review something for you next week, and we're going to try to do some shorter videos. We are going to try to...
So it's getting better.
Yes, we're getting better. We got a set. This was for you. I didn't do this for me.
1080p,
I coulda
man.
went to the
You
strip
can see
club
the
with this.
pimples and all that
You
shit.
know,
You can see the fresh
I could have
lineups.
put money in the bank,
Getting
put it
pretty
in the
for you
market.
folks.
I could have bought Bitcoin, but I did this. We
Coulda bought
did
some
this
vagina?
All for you. There you go.
There you go, man.
And
Crotches.
it happened again. And on that note, we are out of here.
Deuces.
Later.
All right. Good show, people. Good show. I'm out here. Send me the link so I can post it.
There he goes.
I don't got much time.